Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to my garage. Well, actually, it's more like evening here, even though I still consider it late afternoon. It's dark due to daylight savings time, but nonetheless, it's the 15th, and here we are making our update videos. So, for those of you following along, you'll notice that the room has changed once again. The battery configuration has been swapped around and whatnot, and we'll talk a little bit about that after we get done running through the numbers here, which is what we're going to do right now. For those of you that are popping in to see what the numbers are, let's jump right in. We'll start with the 30 amp system. This has 410 watts worth of panels up there on the roof. It says 71.7 on the load, which it always says. And then we're going to jump over here, and the only other one we read on this is the PV array, and it is at 101. That is up from a 975. Now, what I have figured out about the EP-Ever here is it will not do 4 digits. So 101 really means 1,110, 11, 12, 13, 14, all the way up through 19. It's one of those. And my guess is it probably should say 1018. If we look at the shunt here, it says 702. That's up from 660. So we had 42. And if you add 42 to the 975, that should get you right around 1018. So for those of you using EP-Evers here, it will not keep track of 4 digits. You're going to have to guess that last place, I guess. All right, now the 20 amp system with, 280 watts worth of panels up there. It is at, let's see here, PV array is reading 341. That is up from 314 or 27. The next one we got here is and as you can see, the battery is -3. As you can see, the outside lights are on there. The load at 89.9, up from 82.2 or 7.7. Now I add about 45 minutes a day onto the load on this one for this time of year because it's getting dark so early. And I want it light out there for a little bit later. So those get swapped around a little bit. And as you can see, let's jump down here to the shunt. It is at 247, up from 224 or 23. So we had a pretty good production month, actually. The sun was out quite a bit. We've had a drought here. So we have had awesome solar conditions as of late. But I fear that's going to change. I've had the refrigerator off grid for a couple days now. And see my finger there? I cut it today, like my electrical tape Band-Aid. Anyway, we've had the refrigerator off grid, and on this system, I've moved the 2 Chins batteries over here to the 20 amp system. So we got quite a bit now for backup, and as you can see, I did end up getting a 3rd time USB battery, and we now have all 3 of those wired together as the 30 amp system. And everything's working out pretty good. As it stands right now, I feel pretty confident that we're going to make it through this entire winter without having to hit the grid. We'll see how that works out, but for those of you that have been following along since the very beginning, we started with this Duracell right here. This beat up piece of junk on my floor that ain't no good anymore. That's what we started with, and look where we are now. It's amazing, isn't it? I spent quite a bit of money getting here, but let me tell you, if the power goes out, we got no worries here. None whatsoever. I felt pretty confident with my previous system when we just had the 2 Chins, which are here, over here, and a single 200 amp hour lithium ion battery. But now that we've batteried up and the battery prices are extremely reasonable all of a sudden, now that we've batteried up real good, I feel pretty confident we can make her through. Future plans is I still want to go 24 volt. We may very well do that with this system over here. We'll see what happens in the spring. I'm going to make it all the way through the winter and into this time of year in the springtime before we make any changes. So we'll be able to chart our progress and chart our wattage and our usage. But 42 kilowatts on this system, and 23, 24 kilowatts on this system? That's awesome for November. Usually it's cloudy and cruddy, and we don't get this kind of production. But I've had full systems for so many days in a row. I put the refrigerator back off grid on this system over here, and it's been off grid for 4 or 5 days now. At night, I hit it from this system to this system a little bit because the panels up there on the roof this time of year just do not get enough exposure to keep the system pumped up. There's just too many hours of darkness now, as opposed to when the middle of the summer, when the panels will stay caught up with it and everything, when we got lots and lots of light. But hey, that's what happens this time of year. And, you know, for those of you that are planning on doing this, now's the time of year that you need to start paying attention to my output, because this is the time of year you're going to be sizing your system. You should be sizing it for November, December, January, February, and March. Those 5 months are the 5 hardest months to make it through. And obviously, December and January are really hard. January was when I hit the grid a couple times last year. We had a good 8 or 10 day stint where we didn't have any sun whatsoever. Now, I personally think we're going to make an 8-dayer with what we got here now. I think we can make 8 days. We're going to find out. But for those of you tuning in, thank you. I appreciate it. Like. For those of you that haven't and are still here, subscribe. I could use the viewers, and I'm still trying to grow this channel. I want people to know that going off grid, it pays. It doesn't hurt you none anyway. Hey, have a good day and a better tomorrow. I'll be back in 30, maybe less. See ya.